Ooh, do you want to go and piss off some people? Anyway, let's talk about immersive gaming for a moment. So, I have been playing Dead by Daylight for, at the time of this recording, almost 1,500 hours, close to 1,500 hours. And I've never once been the immersive gamer. I will tell you that Distortion used to be one of my favorite perks because I got really fucking sick and tired of being lethal pursued every match, and like I was always the first one found, downed, and hooked. So I got really tired of it. So I ran Distortion just to avoid lethal pursuer, but I've never been the immersive gamer. I've never been the gamer that like hides all match and barely does anything and is too scared to go for saves or take chase or anything like that. So when I see people immersive gaming, I get really confused because why are you playing this game? Like that's my first question. Before we get into like the negative impact of immersive gaming, why are you playing this game? If you don't want to try to survive, if you don't want to play the game, right? Play the game means do gens, go for saves, take chase when the killer chases you. If you just want to play crouch in a corner simulator, why are you playing this game? You could go play Minecraft and dig into a cave with scary, creepy noises and build a box and sit there for 20 minutes at a time. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me that you would boot up this game, load into the game, barely do anything to help your team or play the game at all, and then just crouch in a fucking corner or hide in a locker or whatever the case may be. But the negative, like I said, there are negative impacts to immersive gaming because almost every survivor play style has its uses, right? Gen jockeys get the objective done faster. Chase addicts distract the killer for longer. Even the dreaded flip-flop boil over top rope bullshit, even that has some sort of time wasting potential, right? All of those positively impact the team in one way or another. Crouching in a corner doing absolutely fuck all does not. Hiding in a locker across the map does not. Running every time you so much as get a hint of the killer's terror radius does not. None of these help your team. So with all these things just not helping your team, immersive gaming is not only confusing to me, it actively irritates the fucking shit out of me because I understand that people are like, well, it's just a video game, bro. Calm down. But like, if you're just going to be throwing for your team, if you're just going to throw the game and not help them, play killer. Play something where you're not negatively impacting other people's experiences because you're too much of a bitch to do a generator for more than 5 seconds. Another problem that comes up with the subject of today's video is aura reading. Aura reading as a source of info is probably the best source of info in the game. Actually, Killer Instinct is like continuous Killer Instinct because there's legitimately no way to counter that. There's no perk, there's no action you can take, there's nothing. But aura reading is really, really strong, and it's very prominent among killer perks, which is why I'm pissed off that they're taking the Scream away from Ultimate Weapon, because all that perk needed was a cooldown and probably duration adjustment. It did not need to be they did not need to take screaming away from it. Screaming should have stayed because there's just not enough perks that make the survivors scream, and I think it's funny to make the survivors scream. So there's a shitload of aura reading perks. And it's really, really annoying that one perk can shut every single one of them down. So perks countering perks is an interesting discussion because some people have said that perks countering other perks isn't healthy because, well, one, not everybody has access to the same perks, which is true. This game is very, very pay to win. It's very pay to win, or more importantly, it's pay to skip the grind, right? There's a lot of good perks that are locked behind paywalls or excessive grind times. It is very, very obnoxious. Not everybody has access to the same perks. Not everybody can use the same perks. And so perks countering perks gets brought up a lot as something that people just really don't like the argument for. And I understand that. However, you have to think of Dead by Daylight like a trading card game, which is how I've thought about it since the very first time I ever started playing the game. It is basically, the perk and add-on system is a trading card game mechanic. Synergies, builds, countering the meta, stuff like that. It's all a trading card game mentality. And so in trading card games, certain decks counter other decks. You run certain cards to counter powerful cards. And so the same thing applies to Dead by Daylight. I think that a lot of people's problem with perks countering perks has to do with the monetization of the game, which is an entirely different discussion. But for right now, I think perks countering perks is fine. Here's my problem with Distortion. It's not that one perk shuts down every other fucking perk in the game, right? It's not that, oh, you put on Distortion and you shut down literally every aura reading perk in the game. That's not my issue. And add-ons, by the way. That's not my issue. My issue is the rate at which you regain tokens that pisses me off. So Distortion starts the game with 3 tokens. And when you get your aura read, you lose a token, and then your aura can't be read, and your scratch marks disappear for 10 seconds, I believe. This is a really powerful effect. Do you know how you get tokens back? By just existing in the killer's terror radius. That's it. Now, I don't know if this was a bug, but the last time I used Distortion, I was gaining stacks while on the hook. I was gaining stacks while slugged. I was gaining stacks while being chased. I think the chased one is definitely a bug, right? But the truth is that you gain stacks by just existing in the killer's terror radius. And even if it doesn't gain stacks while being chased, do you know how easy it is to break chase? Break line of sight, walk for a little bit, whatever the case may be. It's very easy to break chase. And the chase mechanic is very finicky. So you get tokens back rapidly, like very, very fast. So I was talking with Lily Pie on the podcast that I did with her, and we were talking about Distortion and immersive gamings, and she came up with an idea. And this is the change I want to present to you guys today. Distortion should gain back tokens after you've been chased for 15 seconds. This way, it's a very great counter to aura reading perk still, but it eliminates a harmful way to play. And when I say harmful, I mean harmful to your teammates. We talked about this in the beginning. Distortion encourages rat gameplay. It encourages survivors to purposely fuck over their team by constantly hiding. Constantly, even if you go for the unhook, I can't count the number of times somebody would go for an unhook, and I would come back to the hook to see what all the hullabaloo is about, and the only person I could find was the person that just got unhooked because their teammate distortioned away and fucking hid but nearby, waiting for me to go chase the person I got on. You are forcing your teammates to be tunneled with Distortion. You are fucking your teammates over by not doing anything with Distortion. When Distortion is used aggressively, I'm fine with it. But the fact that you gain back tokens by hiding from the killer is the problem. And so that's how I would change Distortion. But as always, I do not make these videos just to spout my opinions at you. I make these videos so I can hear what you think. So if you guys want to go ahead and let me know down below, what do you think about Distortion? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think the change is worth it? Do you think I'm being a whiny little entitled killer main? Whatever the case may be, let me know down below. I love you guys so much. And as always, a very good special thank you to my channel members listed on screen now. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, then get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.